Okay, give me just 1 second. I forgot I needed to check something before we got going. Ugh. Oh no, no, tropical cyclone. Stop it. This is not what I want to see. There's two systems sitting next to each other. And the one's like, oh, chance of development through the next 7 days, 70%. The one right next to it's 50%. Okay, so it's Sunday. We are needle felting today. We are working on the last tutorial from the Bob Ross needle felting series, I guess. So we've been doing a long haul project where we've been needle felting along with the Bob Ross Joy of Painting tutorials from season 3. I didn't really expect it to take quite this long to get through, but it has. We've done all previous 12 in this season. We are working on number 13 right now. We have followed along with Bob before with paint. However, this time we decided to do needle felting just for something different, and we're on the last one. So anyone that wants to follow along with the tutorial in full without interruption, with sound, all that good stuff, there's the link. It's pinned in the chat. That'll take you to the Bob Ross YouTube channel where that video resides. And we're just kind of meandering our way through this one. This one's taken a little bit longer. Just because life, and we've had to shorten some of our stream sessions recently for reasons. Whether those be ill doggo reasons or just life reasons. It happens sometimes, you know, what can you do? So I had to stop so suddenly on Monday that we still have the tail attached to this guy. Didn't even get it cut off, and I didn't even realize I didn't cut it off because doggo was not happy. Okay. Alright. I know our edges are kind of all wonky and all over the place. We'll fix it up as best as we can. When we get to that point, we might lose a little bit over here, just trying to straighten it up. This side I think is worse than this side, but we'll see what happens when we get done. We were working on our pine tree when we last left off. So that is where we are going to pick this back up. And I'm watching the tropics because we have a trip in like 2 weeks down to Florida, and I'm like, no, please don't ruin this, please. We have been looking forward to this since March. And I know September is still hurricane season. I know this. It was a risk. But we were mainly taking my mom to go see my brother for her birthday, and we were just gonna scoot down there since we were already gonna be there. Hopefully it doesn't do anything major, and we don't have to reschedule or cancel and eat the deposit, because I actually have tickets for Flamingo. So looking forward to this. I'm gonna be so upset. Alright. So let's figure out here. We have to figure out our length. We want these guys to be, because we do have to start elongating them, as we are getting closer to bottom here. So how's everybody's Sunday going? Everybody good? Hopefully. So I know when we started out, I was starting from the middle of the tree and going down. But the length of our tree branches, I want to start to control a little bit better. At this point. So we have the option here to do it this way. You can do it either way, whichever you prefer. Sometimes I switch back and forth. Just kind of whatever the mood happens to be at the moment. And Bob does his trees back and forth. Whatever way that you want to make your pine tree, go for it. I have found that this way just works a bit better for me with this particular medium. It does mean making these trees takes a little bit more time. But if I like the outcome better, then I like the outcome better. And then that's what I'm gonna go with. You know? That's kind of all there is to it. You do what's gonna work for you. And that's what matters. just gonna snip our extra off there, and whenever you do that, just go back and tack down where you snipped, because you're gonna have some loose bits hanging out. Sorry, I have to adjust how I'm sitting. And you make your branches as full, as short, as fluffed out. You know, you do it how you want to do it. My guys down here at the bottom starting to get a little more uniform. Like up there, they're a little more wild and free, but I'm okay with that because the top of the tree, those guys are going to be going in every which way trying to figure themselves out. And I'm okay with that. And that little bit we're just gonna tuck into there. Now, I do use roving for the majority of, I use acrylic yarn for the majority of this. You can use roving if you have it in the colors that you need. My budget just wasn't gonna work for roving at the time when I started all this, and I've grown to enjoy using the yarn quite a bit, and I get quite a lot of yarn for the money. Haven't really run out of a color yet. Now we have added colors to my yarn collection since we started this, but I haven't run out of any. Which makes me happy. Makes me feel like I made the right choice there. For me personally. It does take a little bit more prep work than just getting the roving, because you do need to get a sticker brush or a slicker brush, whichever. I've seen them called both. Just a pet grooming brush. It's got some angled spikies on it. You would mainly use it to brush out your dog's undercoat if you have a double coated dog. They feel kind of sharp if you touch them the wrong way. So You have to brush out lengths of yarn to get it back to its pre-twisted state. But that's okay. I'm using acrylic yarn because that's what my budget said I could use. That's what my financial advisor was like, you can do this. I do have some roving. It's a small amount. It's not huge. And sometimes I will dive into that to use for smaller pieces, or if I just need a little accent of a color that I just don't have the right color in my yarn collection for. It was like a color, X amount of color set that I had gotten off of Amazon. The only trouble with those sets is if you run out, you can't like just reorder a specific color. And if you reorder another set of it, well, there's no guarantee you're gonna get the color that you were hoping to find in there. So on that piece, I decided I had just enough left. I'll just kind of flip that guy back down on the opposite side. Why not? You can do that also. I have like a slightly misshapen V. Okay. Just pulling off a bit of fluff. If your fluff doesn't want to cooperate and shape how you want it to, you can get just a drop of water. Do you mean a drop? You don't want to saturate this. You don't need to. A drop on your palm will be good enough. It'll give you just enough friction. Or it should. If your fiber's being particularly pissy, then you might need a little bit more, but okay. So let's see here. Trying to figure out my placement on this guy. And where is it going to make me happy? I really have to stop looking at real estate websites because I saw this one house that I'm kind of smitten with, and I'm like, I really like the look of this. I don't know what it would feel like walking through it though. It's an older house and I kind of like it from the photos. I can see the possible potential in it. But the problem is, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to peek that. Shit. The problem is I've got this turned up. I'm gonna grab some hair bands. See if we can soften the blow a little bit. The problem is it would never... There's no way it would still be for sale by the time we're ready to try to move. That's the only problem with falling in love with a bit of real estate this far out. Although I might not like the vibe of it walking through it, you know? That is a possibility. And houses are going to have their own kind of energy. It happens. Okay, that might have helped to dampen that a little bit. Hopefully. Husband's cutting the grass outside, so I will try to talk loud enough so that he doesn't drown me out. We do have the windows shut. Hopefully it won't be too over, excuse me, powering. We're entering a cycle again where it's just high pollen every day. Yet again. Alrighty. Got a little bit further to go. Here's the base of our tree that we're trying to get down to. We are slowly getting there. Alright, I'm gonna lift this guy up. Oh, this thing is all... Why? After getting the last one's edges so straight, it's just so angering how this one is so curved out. And the only difference was the thickness in the felt. So I think when we restock our felt, we're gonna have to go with the thicker guy. If I can still keep getting it. I had not seen it before in our particular local craft store. So I was like, I'm curious. So I tried it. And I liked it a lot. I was real nervous about it, but in the end, I really did like it. After we got in there and got to the end of the project, I was pretty happy with how it worked out. Now, I'm thinking we're gonna highlight this guy. No, should we wait until we get the other one in? No, we can highlight them beforehand. That should be fine. My problem is that I keep... my desk is so dusty. I just washed all these, and yet they're covered in, like, dust bunnies already. See, that's not fair. What the heck, man? Russell convinced me to buy a new headband when we were at the craft fair. I was like, but I've got some, and the ones I have are a little tight and they give me a headache. He goes, it's not that much money, just get it. So I got it, and now I kind of like it even though it's kind of wide. And now I kind of wish I had more of those instead of the other ones that I've got. But I had only bought the one. Okay. So, we're gonna have ads starting in 3 minutes. It's gonna be 2 minutes of ads. If you are subscribed to the channel, you won't get them. Or you shouldn't get them, put it that way. If you do get them, let me know. I'll have to look at my settings, but ads should be disabled for subscribers. So as we were pulling the fiber in from putting this bit of tree in, I noticed over here looked a little bunchy on the edge. So I'm just going to re-tack that down. Just to make sure that everybody's looking good over there. Okay, and our tree doesn't need to be straight. It doesn't. Not every tree grows completely 100% straight. If you're out in the woods, you'll see some wobbly variations here and there. That's one good thing about doing trees. Is that they don't have to be perfectly straight. Like I said, it's a bad allergy day. Definitely is. I'm kind of fussing with the side of the tree a little bit. I got that at the wrong angle. Now he looks a little strange in there. That's alright. It'll work out in the end. Okay. So ads should be getting going. Uh-oh. I dropped it and I couldn't see it. It was too dark. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's not cool. So we have to figure out how we want to handle the base of our tree here. The husband still has the video from... Oh! Ads are going to end in 40 some seconds. Alrighty. So, the husband said that he would help me edit the speed felts, because at the end of each large needle felting project, the multi-session ones like these for the Bob Ross stuff, I have been editing down all of the live streams into one sort of sped up, kind of like a speed paint time-lapse deal for one finished project. That can take me a couple of months. Depending on my free time. When I'm not working on something else or dealing with life issues and stuff. He's been working on one of them. He just hasn't had the time to get back to working on it. So I do know that I owe you guys 10, and 10 is missing because 11 went up before 10. I am currently working on 12. I think I've got about like 40 minutes left of the first session of 12. We'll get 10 done eventually. I haven't forgotten it. Just at this point, I was like, it's been this long, I might as well just finish the other guys first. And if I need to do 10 completely from scratch, then I will. But I didn't want to delay everybody else if I didn't need to. still not real sure how we're gonna do this part down in here. So we're also gonna have to start working on Christmas gifts soon. I don't know what the heck I'm doing for Christmas gifts yet. I'm kind of drawing a complete blank. To be perfectly honest. I don't know. I know what I'm doing for the husband. Well, I know a little something I'm doing for the husband. He'll probably end up getting a game or something. The rest of them, though, I don't know, man. There goes one of those dogs. You alright?
Mm-hmm. Just sweating like crazy. Hi, Zuzu. Let me guess, you need to go outside now, don't you? You have to go outside. Alright, give me a second. Hang
Well,
on.
Daddy, you just cut the grass, or part of it.
I know. Which means we gotta swarm the fucking place.
Why don't you put one of your neck things on?
Hang on, Zuzu. I acknowledge you just gotta give me a second.
He was so excited when I finally came to bed.
Oh, huh?
He was so excited when...
Zuzu?
Yeah. He abandoned your bathrobe so fast.
I'm second rate when mommy's available. I got you.
I think he was cold.
Also possible. It was a little chill last night. I actually opened that fucking window in there.
Did you shut it now?
I didn't open it.
Oh.
I considered it, but I was like,
I forgot to tell you to put a mask on when you went out to cut the grass.
That's okay. I'm doing pretty good allergy-wise so far today.
Really? It's a high day, too.
That said, I did go and knock down some of that ragweed.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. Alright. Okay. Alright, Suzu.
So where did you cut, the front or the back?
Front. Don't care that much about the back. Dude, Mom, what you want out too? Because you're sitting up now.
Y'all want to go bask in the fresh cut grass?
Oh, shit.
You alright?
Rob my neck's killing me.
What'd you do?
I hurt myself cutting down that shit. Come here, Momo.
Do you need Bengay or anything?
We'll see when I get back in. Come on, buddy. Shoot, Mom, let's not stretch all day. Daddy can't hold this forever, not right now. Whew, hold my neck. Okay. Come on, buddy. Let's take you outside.
So we almost have this guy filled in. Got a little bit more on this very bottom, because like right here is the middle, sort of middle. of our tree guy. Alrighty. So let's grab a little bit more fluff. Don't really know how much we're gonna need, but we'll need a little bit. Okay. So it's a little hard to see where we're at, but we need to add a little bit more. Not a whole lot, just a little. Right down in here. Now this might not matter so much when we get the other shrubbery in. That's gonna be like hanging down in front of it, like, well, not hanging down, but like sitting in front of this guy. So a lot of the bottom of this will probably get covered. But since I don't know exactly how those shrubs are gonna lay in yet, kind of like the same mentality of doing the dirt of our landmass. At least this way I've got some coverage there. We're a little thin right there, that's alright. Let's say that's okay. And if we really wanted to, we could just like scrape some of that down into that location. Sorry, I think I got drowned out by a motorcycle going by potentially. I'm not really sure how much traffic noise ends up coming through. I know sitting in the house, it seems like I'm sitting right on the edge of the road a lot. I mean, we're not that far off the road, and the windows are actually shut right now, but a lot of the times, to me, it sounds like we are right there on the edge. But then again, our front yard isn't even like a car's length long. Our front yard's probably from our porch to the edge of the road, probably from like the start of a back door to the trunk of like a standard 4-door car length. It's not very wide. Alright, so I'm going to grab a little bit of our highlighty color. So this I definitely want to be sparing with because it is a highlight. Like, we don't want to get too carried away here. I'm gonna trim the edge of that carefully. Now this might take a little extra patience just to try to make sure that we've got these little wispy guys tacked in. Alright, now I haven't let go of my little wispy bit here. That we had trimmed off the other piece. Because I knew I'd never find it again. More or less. Alright, I'm trying to put the extra that I'm not using at the moment back on my pile of our highlight color here. And you highlight as much or as little as you want within reason, you know. You don't want your entire tree to take over with that color, because then it'll just become that color instead of a lighter kiss of color, and then you're gonna have to find another lighter green to try to fix it, or come back in with your dark green to try to cover up some of it, which might be a little bit difficult. Our poor lumpy mat. Well, hopefully for Christmas we can get a new one. We're pretty tough on our mats. But then again, we're not just making figurines here, we're putting a lot of abuse into them for what we're doing. Like, they're taking a beating. I'm handling it pretty well, all things considered. And if you feel like your highlight is maybe just kind of vanishing into the background, because that can feel like it happens sometimes, it's a little too stringy and it'll just kind of not be visible. You can go ahead and add a little bit more if you feel like you need to. Just very little. Work your way up with this. Is going to be the better way to go here. That sounded like only one of the doggos came in. just Momo. Either Zuzu wasn't ready yet, or Zuzu's being stubborn. Either entirely possible. So it's definitely a little bit faster. Adding the highlighty parts back in here. Just a bit. Mosasaur probably had enough of the sun for one outing. Alrighty, so I'm just trying to make sure we're getting our highlight color all tacked down here. A little bit tricky with the thinner strands here. Making sure that we're grabbing them. Okay, so we probably won't get our trees completely finished today because we still have another pine tree to go. Where's the other dog?
Where's your mom?
Inside or outside?
Inside.
Do I need to go soak your cold neck thingy? Okay, that's not doing too bad there. You can see some of the highlight coming in. Giving this guy a little pop of color. Slowly giving him a pop of color. We don't want to go too too extreme too quickly. That won't do us any good. Alright. Let's get a little bit more. That's probably a little bit thicker than I really was looking for, but I'm gonna try to reposition it here as we go by scraping it around a little. See if we can get them spread out a little bit more. Just so it's not quite so thick in some spots. Okay, that's not too bad there. I'm gonna just brush down the back here. Make sure we're still looking okay there. I'd pulled this out, I was like, oh, there's no way we're gonna use all of this. We've used a little bit of it so far. Probably a little bit more than I was really expecting. Alright, so we're going to try to get some highlighty action on the other side of this a little bit. We'll see how it goes. So it's going to be a little hard to see on the camera just because the strands are pretty thin coming in, right? It's a little bit more visible in person. Did you just hand sanitize?
Uh-huh.
Did you just hand sanitize?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. It smelled different. And it kind of threw me suddenly.
Huh?
It kind of threw me suddenly because it smelled like vinegar for some reason. And it was definitely not a smell I was expecting. Okay. So we're not looking too bad there.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so I'm just thinning out this fiber a little bit to get him how we want him to be. And just trying to position where I want him to sit here. Like that's kind of thick there. Sorry, I was checking on the doggo. Just using the power of the doggo stare to stare into the back of my chair. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of tough to see with the way the light is hitting it. So let me bring it up. There we go. It's a little bit easier to see that. So we are doing something to it, I promise. It doesn't look like it, but we are. Okay, so I'm just kind of pulling this apart a little bit. And just kind of working on anchoring this down. There we go. So I also want to try to put a magnet prototype together. But that's gonna probably wait till I'm done this series. We can work on that together. Probably once we're done Christmas gifts. Now I might have to take our needle felting art time, and we might have to paint for a little bit and change things up a little so I can get presents done ahead of time, because I really don't want to be scrambling last minute again. I would rather they're done early, although we can work on the husband's gift because he's going to find out what it is eventually anyway. scrape this out here. I'm not going to worry about highlighting the bottom of this too much because we're going to have other things down in here. So I might try to bring the other things up to at least cover part of the bottom of this. Actually, I think they might already, yeah, because there's going to be a bigger shrub kind of here coming down on the edge of this guy. Okay, that's probably enough highlighting to that guy. And I think as we get some more green in there, we'll start to see the rest of the highlight show up a little bit more on camera. Alright, I'm going to tuck that lighter green back in its bag for right now, because we have another pine tree to stick in here. This one doesn't have to be quite as tall. Just getting a guideline fiber together here, so I know where I'm at. Okay, where are we going here? There's a little bit of space between them. Maybe we put you maybe about there. I don't want to completely hide the mountains that we worked so hard on. This is just my guideline, so I know where I'm at while working on this guy. And this guy's, Steve's got him in at an angle, so we'll try to put him in at an angle. He had a tough go of things, I guess. Alright, and let's go ahead and we'll snip the base of that. Okay. And let's begin. Let's begin figuring out our other pine tree here. So really, whatever way is gonna work better for you. I've kind of meander back and forth between some different styles of doing these guys. Kind of just whatever feels like it's gonna work better for me in the moment. And the tops are always a little tricky because you're working with some smaller bits of fiber there. Like we're gonna need a little bit of water on this guy. So hope everybody's weekend's been going all right. Hopefully. Kind of nice out today. 75. Sun's out. Traffic's out. People out doing Sunday things. Doggo rubbing his head all over the nylon padded bumper on the side of the one dog bed, you know. Just doggo things. I might just kind of do the little V-shape thingies. To get us started on this guy. We'll have to see. How that decides to take us. And I laughed earlier because you can't see any of the green, or very little of the green when we were putting our guide piece in, but all the other colors were like sticking out. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, that's kind of funny. We've got a lot of fiber tucked in there. Yes, yes, we do. Alright, I'm just kind of tacking down the area around our tree here. Just to make sure nobody starts to create a weird texture or like a weird divot on in there. Alright, I think I need to take the doggo out. We're not due for ads yet, but you'll forgive me if I run one while I run him out, right? I won't be missing anything. Alright, give me 1 minute. It'll be more than a minute, but I will be right back. Do I need to get him?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't realize he was behind me.
You sure? Because I can just run an ad and grab him.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Hang on, mommy's gonna get you, okay?
Oh, you can see the highlight a little bit now. Sorry about that. Pepper had to potty. Husband's gotten him the last couple of times, and he's not well, so the puppy's not well. Puppy, he's like 13, but he's not well. We've been battling with puppy problems lately. He's got a mass in his bladder, but they're not entirely sure what it is. That's causing problems. He's got kidney stones that's causing problems. He might have a yeast infection on his skin on his stomach, which we ordered shampoo for that. That should be coming either today or tomorrow. He's on antibiotics for a digestive tract infection. He's on anti-nausea medication. He's on some kind of kidney probiotic that's supposed to maybe kind of help with the kidney stones that are too big for him to pass. He's kind of falling apart at the seams on me here. But we're doing what we can for him. We're doing what we can. It's just been very stressful. And we've sort of entered this weird time void where everything's been revolving around the doggo for like the past week, 2 weeks, maybe 3. I don't even know anymore. Where it's like, oh, okay, what time does doggo get this medication? What time does doggo get that medication? Doggo's not happy. Is doggo hungry? Because we've been trying to give him chicken and rice, and then we have to cook it, and then he decides he doesn't want to eat it after we've cooked it. It's been a thing. Like, I'm thawing a turkey that we were saving for Thanksgiving. We'll just have to get another one in the fridge right now to cook maybe on Tuesday. It is Sunday, right? Like, I don't even know what day it is anymore. It is Sunday. We're needle felting, right? Yeah, it is Sunday. So, it's been a difficult couple of days, weeks, whatever. Whatever you want to call it. So I'm just trying to tap down the whole area because I can see a small valley trying to form where we're putting our tree in. My mother-in-law is supposed to be coming back, and she should be here in time before we're supposed to leave. She's supposed to watch all the animals while we're gone. Some of these are her animals. At least one of the cats is hers. And she's bringing back her own dog that she ended up with the last time she was here. Hopefully these guys remember this dog. We will see. So I'm making Russell an axolotl for Christmas. Well, we're gonna try. I've never made one before, so we'll see how that goes. Can't be too hard, right? It can't be worse than Chungosaurus, right? Or Reggie. It can't be, right? It's a more simpler shape. I don't know what I'm doing for the mother-in-law yet. I was thinking about trying to do a painting of the new dog that she got. I don't know. It's that or a butterfly. It has to be something small though, if she's still traveling in the RV with her sister, which I don't know. Her sister's not coming back down with her when she's coming back before we leave, because her sister needs to be up there to help take care of one of her kids, I guess her grandkids, to get them off to school and stuff, because the person that they had helping them with that, since both parents are working, is having their other hip replaced. It's the same person that she went up there to deal with back in the spring, but now they're getting the other hip done, and so I don't know if she's going to be down here for Christmas at all, in which case I don't know what the frig I'm supposed to do for her. I don't know, man. I don't even know if she's going to be here for Christmas, so like, I'm not that close with her, but I can't give the mother-in-law, well, I'm not really that close with the mother-in-law either, but I can't really give the mother-in-law a gift and not have something for her. And Russell's like, yes you can. I'm like, no I can't. That's not how the brain works, and you know that. I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do. It has to be something small. I have some sign pieces. Maybe we'll paint like a campsite something or other. I don't know. And that one side of the tree looks kind of rough there, doesn't it? Like that kind of looks a little scraggly there, but it might be alright. We've got ads starting if you are not subscribed, or if you don't have turbo, I guess. Sorry, I was a little slow at noticing it. I feel bad that the pepper couldn't wait until we actually had an ad break. And the pupper has to go. The pupper has to go. Okay. I am so excited about our tissue paper project. So excited. Cannot wait. Unfortunately, I have to. Like, that's... Like, I want to start on it, but I can't start on it yet. Because I've got no room to work on it. I'd really rather work on it in here. We might have to go smaller than I was originally wanting. I feel bad, this side of the tree is a little more barren, it seems. I really should be it's a bad joke, I shouldn't say that. We should be branching this guy out a little bit further. You can tell the husband's not in the room because he would have been booing that. I'm going to need so much tissue paper. I'm going to have to twist so much tissue paper. Oh my goodness. So much tissue paper for that. Although I don't know if it's gonna be 40 by 60 yet. We have to go measure the car. Because I can't seem to order a single 40 by 60 canvas from what I've seen. At a reasonable price, I'll put it that way. Jerry's had some, but I had to buy a box of 3. I was like, I don't need a box of 3, and the time it's going to take me to do 1. If we do move, that means I'm going to have to move 2 large canvases and hope they don't get damaged. Because we're probably going to have to do one of those like U-Haul pod things. They were a little bit cheaper than the actual name brand pod thingy. We've done the moving truck thing before. We did a U-Haul from here, from New Jersey to here. That was a pain in the ass. And we didn't have a car then, so that wasn't a big deal, but now we have a car. So, and we've got more than 2 cats. 2 cats in the U-Haul was tough. Alright. Let's get back to work on this guy here. Now we might get this tree mostly done. This guy's a lot smaller. He doesn't look as good as his friend here. But you know what? Not all trees are the same. They're just not. This guy's got a little bit more. Thank you, loud vehicle. That was totally not necessary. Like, 100% not necessary. I don't know what the heck is going on with this tree up here. I think we're gonna have to do something with this because this is driving me nuts. Like, it's not thick enough, or can't really see the ends of our branches on this side. A lot of air on this one. Alright, so yeah, we might just need to give that section a little bit more attention. Alright. So I think while we're away, I'm going to be working on the sketches for the tissue paper project. Potentially. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Like, a little. It's a little more fanned out. See our branches a little bit more in there. I think I need to maybe add a little bit more in there. Although, I mean, it is kind of hanging to the side, so that one spot was a little too airy, though. So one of the good things about this is if you don't like the way it's going, you can come back and add some more. And that should change the look of it a little bit. And I might add one more piece right in there. I don't know if I want my tree to have that much. That much mountain showing through it. If you want your tree to, then leave it be. I mean, everybody's fiber is going to fiber differently depending on how you do it. There we go. That's a bit better. So I don't know what was happening with that side of the tree, but it was starting to look a little peaked. Just gonna kind of be indented in there a bit, I guess. I thought the rest of that was just gonna like pull away. It did not. Sometimes you can get it so stretched out where they just kind of like melt off and you just pull it off of itself, but that one did not. Like, it's not actually melting, but it's like, oh, those pieces were loose enough to each other that it just kind of felt like they melted away from the other one. Not a literal melting. If your fiber is melting, there's a problem. And I don't know what that could be, but that's a problem. Because it shouldn't actually literally be melting. This guy's looking a little bit better now. For sure. So I'm making him a little bit smaller than the other one. Like their friend didn't get quite a jump start in life that they did. And that's okay. And not every tree is the same size at the same, you know, they're all at different stages of growing and everything. Oof, okay. There we go. I was like, uh-oh. I did it now. No, we got it off. Alright. So yeah, I mean, you can see the highlights on the tree a little bit better now that we started to put this guy in. I do wish I had made these darker trees a little bit shorter, but that's a lesson learned for next time if we ever do something similar. Uh-oh. The phone. The phone is ringing. Who was it? Is it my brother again?
Hmm?
Who was it?
Same random number.
Wasn't my brother?
I didn't recognize the number. That don't mean much, though.
Okay. She didn't answer it, so either she's asleep or she didn't recognize it either. It was probably somebody looking for Jamal again. We have no idea who you are, Jamal, but somebody miswrote your phone number. Although they were calling your cell phone, not the house. Okay. Let's snippy, snippy, snippy. And we'll get that little loose end tucked into there. All right. We actually managed to get some stuff done today. Not a whole lot, but we got some stuff done. Motorcycles aplenty. We got our other pine tree finished and highlighted slightly. And we got pine tree number 2 started. Let's see how much of pine tree number 2 we get finished. We still have got about another half hour-ish to go here. Kofi Bot's having a grand old time in chat. I've really got to get that other painting sealed. From the acrylic paint markers that we did. I do need to see if I have to touch up any of the black background though. I might need to around the corners. And I might do a test of the brush-on sealer on the back just to see what it's going to do with the gel pen. Just to make sure it's not going to make it bleed out or anything. We're not doing too bad there. Get some more fluff. We don't need a lot more fluff, but we need a little bit. So we still have a bunch of shrubs to put in here. So we still got a couple more sessions to go. Plus we still have to do this corner down here. We haven't even gotten there yet. Like, we're getting closer to being done, but we've still got a little ways to go. To look at my notes for those other shrubbies. Try to figure out how we want to put them together. I'm not real sure. We might mix all of those colors together just to see what it might look like. Kind of like how we do our grass. Except we're just going to kind of build up our shrub shape. I'm trying to tap down around our tree here. Kind of hoping that that gap isn't going to be too much of an issue here. How tall are our other shrubs? Okay, so there's a taller one that kind of sits right in here too, so probably don't have to struggle too hard with this tree going in here, because the other shrub's gonna cover like this section in here. So that should be okay there. I know we haven't worked on the other side of the tree in a few minutes. We will. Don't you worry. That one's gonna kind of merge into the other tree a little bit. Hadn't really decided how far into the other tree we were going to be visible. Kind of depends, right? Where's... Okay, so the bottom half of this one's a little bit more visible than the other one. So like our shrub that's gonna sit over here is like gonna kind of fill out to here, kind of. And then we've got one over here, but then there's like another one in the front too. So I might have to change some colors around on some of those shrubbies. just to get them a little bit different from each other. Okay, so let's pop this guy up. Alright, he's not looking too shabby from the back. Okay. Cannot wait to clean up this edge. I'm not sure what direction we're going to end up cleaning this edge from, so we might lose a little bit of this. So if we go like corner to corner, right, some of him might get cut off, and I mean that's it's gonna happen, but we should be able to clean him up a little bit there without losing too much. Okay, just getting the next bit of fiber here. Yeah, we definitely won't be done this tree today. Highlights will definitely be happening tomorrow. I was a little slow getting up this morning, so didn't get started quite when I wanted to, but sleep's been more important lately. Kind of surprised you didn't put the guinea pig stuff out on the porch to dry. We had to do their laundry today. Like, we did try to price it out and what would have been easier to deal with. I mean, obviously going like the Carefresh route and just like spot cleaning the cage probably would have been a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit easier, but the fleece in the long run is a little bit cheaper. So we're not constantly buying a large amount of Carefresh or the shavings. That we then have to figure out what we're going to do with. Because the Carefresh for the cages can get kind of expensive, especially if you have a large cage, which we do. Our cage is, I think, 4 or 5 feet long, and it's several inches deep on the tray. That's a lot of Carefresh. Gonna get down to it, that's a lot of Carefresh. I understand it's compacted and probably fluffs up a bit, but that stuff's not exactly cheap. So the reusable route for the homemade cage liners is a little bit better for us. So we get some U-Haul furniture pads, U-H-A-U-L, like the moving truck company. You can buy furniture moving pad, like a big ass blanket that's like recycled fibers all thrown together. They're pretty absorbent. And you can get some fleece that you have removed the water barrier on by soaking in hot water and vinegar and washing it a few times. Do not dry it with a dryer sheet. That will just put the water barrier back. The vinegar should help with any static. And when you pour water over your fleece, I think we use the anti-pill, the water should come right through. It shouldn't be beaded up on the top, and if it goes right through, then if the guinea pigs pee on it, it'll go right through to the furniture pad underneath of it and get absorbed. And then you have a cage liner, basically. We messed up our measurements though, so instead of having like 4, we only ended up with 3. So we really need to get some more furniture pad and some more fleece. Fleece is not cheap though. But at least it's not like you're like that'll last us for probably until we don't have the pigs anymore. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little expensive, but it's still cheaper than buying that amount in Carefresh every month. But it does mean we have to shake out the used stuff real good. Maybe use a little dustpan brush to brush off any stuck on poop or hay. And then we have to wash it. But it air dries pretty quick. And when you wash it, you just wash it with some more vinegar to deal with any smell or whatever might be in the fabric. And we use a little bit of our free and clear laundry detergent because I can't do the scented stuff with how sensitive I am to all the smells. Gosh, it's an adventure taking a walk around here some nights because everybody's got their dryers running and everybody loves the stinky, smelly scent beads or like the Snuggle and Gain dryer sheets that are just, oh my goodness, so strong. Especially when there's multiple people doing it with different sets at the same time. It's kind of tough. When you are overly sensitive to that kind of stuff. Alright, what time is it? It's 1:15. I think we're gonna stop there. I know we didn't get that far, but we've got about this much tree left to go. But I'm kind of hurting and we gotta get guinea pigs fed and Doggo's dinner figured out before we move on to getting our dinner sorted. So I think we're at a good stopping point at the moment. So tomorrow we will finish up this bottom part of our tree and get this guy highlighted, and then we'll start to do our shrubbies in here and figure out who's going where, then kind of work our way down to the end of our little island, and we'll see how far we get tomorrow. We'll see how far the doggo lets us get tomorrow. because I think tomorrow he's coming off of his anti-nausea meds while the vet is open. And we'll see. I think we're going to have to go and get more just to make sure we have it for the mother-in-law, but we might run him back up to the vet tomorrow and throw him on the scale and see how he's doing as well. So we will see what happens with that then. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. Greatly appreciate it. There's links to the socially places down below. We've got a Ko-fi page, an Instagram page, a X Twitter account, and the YouTube account, which sometimes you will find some stuff popping up that we haven't streamed. I've got some speed paints that should be popping up in oil and some playthrough of Bear and Breakfast that will be going up on the channel while we are away. So you've got that to look forward to. I should have a video just about every day going live while we're gone over there. So don't forget to check that out and subscribe for free over there and turn your notifications on so you know when those go live. We've also got all of the live streams, well, not all of them, but most of them archived over on the YouTube channel as well. I do have a Blue Sky account. I haven't really done anything with it yet. I still need to finish setting up profile and get some photos posted over there. I just haven't had the time. I need to take photos of some stuff. Again, just haven't had the time dealing with the doggo. Hopefully we can get some of that done this week. So once I actually start getting some stuff posted and track down some people and start finding people that I had been following on Twitter that moved over to there, I'll start adding that link in as well. But that's going to take me a little bit because there's only so much mental energy to go around lately. So I hope to see everybody tomorrow when we pick back up on this guy. And hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more done on Shrubbery Island here. But until next time, you guys, I hope your week starts out well. And it is a gentle one. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Until next time, you guys.